Welcome to Beyond the Stripes, and I'm delighted to say we're joined by your new favourite fighter, Kenneth The Boss Cross. Ken, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing tremendous. Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure to have you on the show today. And honestly, we've had such a great time watching your fights this week. Do you always go out there to entertain the crowd?
You watched me fight this week?
We literally watched all of your fights this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I have a cousin who fought this weekend and people keep telling me good luck and I'm like, thank you. But yeah, obviously when I went to Contender Series, I was 10-3 with 10 finishes, 9 in the first round. You know, that was my first fight I didn't finish. I haven't lost since then. I finished the guy after him. And then I just had my second fight that I didn't finish to another, well-rounded number one guy from his state. But I'm delivering an art to you. So it's not only am I going out there to get my money, but I'm also like the product that I bring to my fans. I want you guys to feel a different kind of energy when I'm walking out. So you know that either I'm gonna lose or I'm gonna win, but it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it honestly felt like we needed popcorn for some of those fights. They were absolutely
Mhm.
brilliant. It was like watching movies.
Yeah, and I tell everyone all my fights on YouTube, like I was so bad when all those fights, I was not at where I am right now.
It's so good. We kind of also felt like there were some Conor McGregor sort of vibes in the way you were talking on the mic. Are there any fighters that have influenced the way you fight and the way you present yourself to the media?
I think definitely I try to emulate a little bit of every one of my favorite fighters, from Anderson Silva to Conor McGregor, GSP, my former coaches, Darren Cruikshank, anything that works, I take a little bit of that and I put it into my game, and that's what a 2022 fighter is nowadays. You got to have everything, and being on the mic is something that fighters fall short of, and that's one of the hardest parts. Is honestly, after you get done with the fight, you train to fight. You don't ever train to talk to people. So that's why you got to do these interviews. That's why you got to become confident on who you are and what you want in this sport. Back when I was 19, doing these interviews, I was trying to be certain people or trying to be this, and never really didn't understand who I was and what I was really standing on. So these days, when you guys come and speak to me, I'm going to deliver, truth and what I really think of myself. And right now, I'm going to tell you, I'm training every day. I don't have an opponent, but when I do have a name, it's over with. It's done. I've been in fight camp. I've already put in 8 weeks of full camp, and I'm on the hot seat 2-3 weeks. Who knows when I'll fight? But no one's going to be able to stop me, and that's what I truly believe.
Yeah, honestly, you've got fans in us. We absolutely love watching you fight and can't wait to see you fight again. And you mentioned when you were younger. How did you originally get into combat sports?
I wrestled throughout high school. My brother was 2 years older than me, and when mom was away, he'd pin both my arms down, and like he could never suck it up type stuff. So I had to learn how to stay alive even at the house. And we were doing jujitsu. We loved UFC. I never really thought I would be a UFC fighter as much as I'd love to say it.
Mhm.
When I was 17, 16, 17, my hometown, everybody became UFC fighters. And I was like, that's cool. But I wasn't never envious. I didn't care. I
Mhm.
thought I was going to be a wrestler or go to the Marines and wrestle like my brother went and did that. So, I had a little bit. And when I became 19, I was like, I have all these skills. I was done wrestling. I was like, I need to do something with. I had one of my best friends pass away. He thought I was going to be this amazing athlete. I couldn't allow myself to not reach my full potential. So I took a fight. I got in touch with anybody I could. I ended up fighting in Hastings, Michigan, my hometown, at the Berry County Expo Center. I finished this guy. I ended up being co-main event because all my guys kept dropping out and actually left the venue. We couldn't find anybody. So the guy that I ended up fighting was a guy that people ended up leaving the venue, didn't want to fight him either. So we fought for co-main event. I beat him in like 38 seconds. And I was like, okay, I could do this, and I went 9-0 as an amateur. Now I'm 13-3. So 7, 8 years later, I'm on the cusp of doing big things, being in video games and buying big rings. So yeah.
It's absolutely awesome. And it really does feel like you're on the cusp of absolutely massive things. We totally agree.
Mhm.
What's the story behind your fight nickname, The Boss?
Honestly, when I lived in Tennessee for a year, and I had a strength coach named Scooter, and he was calling me boss all the time. He's like, "Come on, boss." I think it might have been a Southern thing, but he's like, "Come on, boss." And my last name's Cross, so I'm like, you know what? Like, it rhymes. That's perfect. You gave me the name, so I technically stuck by the guidelines of MMA, and you have to be given your name, whatever. But it worked perfectly, and now like my crowns that spells cross. That's my logo, and we just keep climbing.
Yeah, and honestly, your merch is great. We went onto your website and was having a look. We'll definitely be placing some orders on there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Down on the back, man. That's just sweet.
Yes,
That's
very
sweet.
nice.
I'm
Absolutely
impressed
loving
with
that.
that. So I'm gonna be repping my stuff all the time, and it's comfortable. I got training right after this, first training of the day, and I got other shirts I'll be sliding into for sparring later tonight.
Yeah, well, we honestly we love merch. We do, and whenever we talk to fighters, we're always interested to see
Yeah, give
what
me
merch it has.
we'll hook you up with some after this interview too. We'll stay in contact.
Amazing. And one of all the things we also noticed was your dance moves in the cage. Like they
Mhm.
were impressive. Where did you learn to dance like that?
Oh man, I got people from my high school will tell me like, look at Kenny doing the pin drop still, even seventh grade. I got real good at like a backflip and a pin drop when I was in middle school, or running up a tree and doing a backflip, and I just stuck to what I was good at. I'm engaged. I'm getting married next year. I want to set up like a dance routine, like rock star lip sync. I can learn dance moves. I just don't know them. I got a little. Charles Johnson will tell you, Kenny's got a little bit of rhythm, and I'm like, all right, I'll take
I love that. We'll probably end up seeing you go viral with a wedding dance video.
that. Cool. Cool.
And then away from MMA, what do you spend most of your time doing?
I got 2 dogs right now. I got a fiance, so I like to stay home. I like to go out to the beach. It's summertime, so get some sun. Play a lot of Warzone with the boys. It's a lot of training and gaming. My life is constantly evolving and changing as I am. So hobbies and other things that don't revolve around like the goal is just to keep me healthy, keep me motivated, keep me happy, so that I can come and grind, 2 days for 5 days straight, whatever it may be. But yeah, man, my life, I'm like a family man now. I'm after the fights, I'm going home. People are asking me where the party's at. I'm like, every day is a party for me. I don't know where your party's at, but my party's back.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And then going into a fight, do you have any superstitions or rituals that you always do?
There's when I was wrestling, I would stretch my arms and I would pray to God and be like, yo, it's me and you. Every time it's like, it's you and I. Let's go get this done. I put in all the work. You got my back. I know it. Let's go do it. So now, my best friend Dominique Nolf passed away back 2017, I believe. So there's been, an added angel that I speak to before a fight. So I got 2 of my guys that I talk to before a fight. And then honestly, I just throw on some Justin Bieber and I get out there and I do my thing.
Love that. Love it. So next question we have for you is a hypothetical question. So I'm going to give you the power to change one thing in MMA. Can be absolutely anything. What would it be?
Weight cuts. Give me some more weight, some more classes, a little more like boxing. Honestly, I got my weight down. I used to walk around 190 and I'm chilling like 70 now. So 55 isn't terrible. 45, I'll take that belt too, and then go up to 70. But like a 65, go 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. Like it just gives the fans more fights, more belts, more fun.
Yeah, I love that. I think is it Khabib's organization that are introducing those sorts of weight classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works out, because I can definitely see that being implemented across the board.
Yeah, no, honestly, like after UFC, I want to go take some belts in the UFC and then WWE. But at the end of the day, I want to like run a promotion kind of like Khabib or corner people and just be in the MMA world and behind someone like Khabib. That's kind of like trying to change the game and being cool with it and looking out for the fighters. Like fighters is a cool industry and some cool ass people in there, and we could really take it, you know, next level. So you're going to see me in there tickling guys. I'm going to be fixing my mustache. I'm going to be doing all kinds of shit in the heat of combat. I'm going to change the game. It's going to be hilarious.
We will be right there supporting you as you do it. Can't wait to see it.
Tickle a guy into full mount. Like, that's what I'm going to
Oh, brilliant. So I guess this is our final question for you. And as I say, it's been a real pleasure. In 5 years' time, where do you want to be in the MMA?
I want to be in a nice suit in one of the biggest press conferences the UFC's ever had, you know, knowing it'll be one of my last fights, having 3 straps around me, you know, where I walk and win or lose that biggest fight of my life. Retire, you know, 5 years, I'm 27, that gives me 32. If I could get out of here by 34, that's sweet, you know.
I love that.
I'm not here forever. I'm just trying to make the most of it while I am here.
Yeah, I think it has a certain ring to it. Champ, Cross.
No one's done 3 belts, and honestly, I can make 45 now. Like people say I'm a big 55er, but I'm 6 foot, 72-inch fucking span, but I can make 45 with the right guys on my team, and then I can also balloon up. No steroids, none of that shit. I can balloon up to 170 and have there's some big 70ers. Like I trained with Chaos Williams and Joaquin Buckley. He's an 85er, but could be a 70er. And dude, Willis Black, these 70ers, Bobby Nash, they're fucking huge. But I and beat 170er and get the belt and get the fuck out of there. I could do that.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, it's been a real pleasure catching up with you. It really has. Can't wait to see you back in the cage again. You've got fans in us. We'll be supporting you from London. And yeah, thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you so much. This interview was awesome. And hit me up afterwards so we can get you some merch.